So today we also move forward with the development of hypotheses. So far we only had a rough idea about the causality, about what we are doing and what effects that should have. Today we move further. We want to have a clearer picture for each specific hypothesis, and maybe we also want to have more hypotheses. The most important one will definitely be the value hypothesis. So how do we generate value for a certain pain point of a customer, for a certain problem? And we need to get more precise also with sketching those hypotheses out. Meaning we need to define exactly what we are doing, in what way we are doing that, and what exact effect that will have, or what exact outcome that will produce. Because otherwise we cannot test it. Speaking about testing, it will also be important to figure out a test setting. So how we can test that, how we can test for example, whether we are really generating value, so what effect that will have with the customer when we offer something with certain characteristics. And we also need to evaluate or have a good idea about the outcome of that effect in terms of numbers. So for instance, the price level that the customer is going to pay, or how much of something the customer is going to pay. Because if we don't have the level of that outcome up front, at least our rough idea, a test setting really doesn't make sense, because then we cannot adapt. If we have no idea initially and there is a certain outcome, then we will not be able to judge whether that's a good outcome or whether that's a bad outcome and whether we need to adjust something. Yeah? So the task for today is to develop further hypotheses and also to make them a little bit more precise, to think about test settings for each of those, and to think about a certain range or amount of value that might turn out in the end.